So most people think that Publix is just a grocery store that has really good sandwiches, great chicken tenders, and their sweet tea is amazing. But they're actually a real estate powerhouse. Most people do not understand the amount of real estate that Publix owns. I'm talking billions of dollars. Publix is actually the largest owner of Publix anchored shopping centers out there, period. I want to talk about Publix because it's their 95th anniversary. It's hard to believe that they've been around for 95 years. They started in the Great Depression and they put out a really nice marketing piece that I want to share with you in a few minutes. But I wanted to let people know things that are about Publix that not everybody may not everybody might realize. Now, Publix owns 400 of their 1,500 locations, and no other landlord can say that they own more Publix locations. But what you might not realize is that 80% of the company is owned by the employees, which makes it the largest employee-owned companies in the United States. And that is actually part of their moat. That was the part of the strategy that really led to their success. So I'll break down the things that I know about Publix from being an insider of the retail shopping center industry for the last 25 years. And if you're new here, my name is Hugh Chen. I am president of Saglo Companies. We own and operate shopping centers across the Southeast and Mid-Atlantic. I don't have Publix in my portfolio. We did at one point, but the cap rates are a little too low. We like to have a little bit higher yield, but they are one of the greatest retailers out there. They have their famous story from bag boy to CEO. The current CEO, Kevin Murphy, actually started off as the front service clerk, aka bag boy, 1984. And the real estate executives that I talked to, most of them started off as interns or worked at the store. So there's plenty of amazing real estate executives when you go to ICSCs and other events that work at Publix that started there right out of college. So let me show you this. All right. So you got lessons from the founder. This is Publix's philosophy by their founder, George Jenkins. This is a marketing piece that they put together for their 95th anniversary. And I might as well read it to you because you might be listening to this and not be able to see it. But lessons from the founder. In the midst of the Great Depression, there was a man named George Jenkins that walked away from his secure job to open the first Publix grocery store. His goal was to run a better store than his competition. The store was small by today's standards, but exceptionally clean and well-stocked. He was passionately focused on customer service, and he treated his customers like royalty. He also treated his employees with dignity and respect. By his words and deeds, George Jenkins, or Mr. George, as he was affectionately known, created what is known as the Publix culture. He called it our philosophy. Some companies are founded on policy. This is wrong. George Jenkins declared philosophy, the things you believe in, is the most important. Philosophy does not change frequently and is never compromised. Today, Mr. George's lessons about our philosophy continue to guide us towards making Publix a great place. And I'm reading from the perspective of Publix. Here's a picture of Mr. George standing in front of an old Publix, and the quote is that tomorrow Publix will be a little better, or maybe not quite as good, depending on each one of us. The next page is investing in others. So for any organization, success is dependent on the ability of individuals to work together. What makes Publix unique is that the individuals working together are company owners. This company ownership began at the very first store. Mr. George wanted his employees to share in the ownership of the business. Of course, on the heels of the Great Depression, he knew how hard it would be for them to invest. So he gave them each a $2 a week raise, then held the money to pay for the stock. And in 50 weeks, it was paid in full. And everyone in the store was a stockholder. And here's a picture of Mr. George with a number of the then employees at Publix. They're all nicely dressed in their uniforms. And his quote is, "One of the most important lessons I've learned in my business career is that no man puts together an organization on his own." And I would agree. Giving back. Mr. George believed in the importance of giving, and he set the example for being involved in the community. He gave his time, his talent, his money. In fact, he once was asked, "Mr. George, how much do you think you'd be worth today if you hadn't given so much away?" And without hesitation, he responded, "Probably nothing." His philosophy on giving was simple. He believed that giving back was not an expense, but an investment, a responsibility, and a privilege. And on the other side of the sheet, you see pictures of Mr. George at various events, giving away or investing in the community. And then, of course, the quote, "We have tried to instill the idea in all of our people that they should be very much a part of the community." Next is prepare for opportunity. Mr. George encouraged people to prepare because opportunities were up for grabs. He created an environment for Publix associates to be successful if they so desired. He said, "Success is doing what you like to do and doing it well. The aim is to learn all you can about the business and do the best job you can for the customer." Promotion from within has allowed hundreds of thousands of people to reach their career goals by starting in entry-level positions and receiving training on the job throughout their careers. And the pictures on the right show Mr. George boarding a plane and in front of a construction site. The quote, "Publix is like a smorgasbord with opportunities spread out for you. Prepare yourself. The opportunities are up for grabs." The next one is be there. When Mr. George opened up his first store, he vowed that if his business ever became a big success, he would not be the kind of owner that just sits behind the desk. He would be actively involved in the day-to-day operations, in touch with his employees and his customers. As the company grew, he stayed committed to the connection with others. He routinely visited stores and support facilities. He went to store openings and attended service award events. He set the example of connecting, listening, learning, being there. He continued this example until the week he passed away in 1996. And the pictures to the right are him at some ribbon cutting ceremonies and store openings. His quote, "Sharing your philosophy with people is just as important as having a philosophy. Respect the dignity of the individual." Mr. George vowed that his door would always be open. If anyone had a problem or idea or just wanted to talk, there would be no barriers. The door to his office was always open. It wasn't just the physical door. He set the example for open communication. He encouraged others to share their ideas and opinions. He allowed people to make mistakes. He trusted people to do their jobs. He expressed his appreciation for their hard work. And the picture is of George by some shopping carts in front of an old Publix and one of his employees pushing the carts back to the store. The quote, "If you want people to respect you or your company, you must first show respect for them. Treat customers like royalty." When George Jenkins opened his first store in 1930, his goal was to operate a better store than the competition. He focused on having a clean and well-stocked store. But most importantly, he treated his customers like royalty. He built relationships with each customer and continually looked for ways to make the shopping experience more of a pleasure. His early supermarket innovations, such as air conditioning, automatic doors, fluorescent lighting, and piped-in music, attracted customers. But what kept them coming back was the friendly customer service and royal treatment. And the picture to the right is of Mr. George meeting with several customers of his supermarkets and taking pictures with a lot of children. His quote, "The aim is to learn all you can about the business to do the best job you can for the customer. And to end, do the right thing." When it comes down to it, all the lessons of Mr. George can be wrapped up in one commitment: do the right thing. Mr. George simply felt nothing was worth getting in the way of doing the right thing. Today, we make the commitment to each other. Our mission statement commits us to be devoted to the dignity, respect, and employment security of our associates. We make this commitment to customers through the premier service we provide every day. We make this commitment to our suppliers through superior chain management practices. We make this commitment to our communities by giving back and by being involved. We make this commitment to our planet through sustainable efforts. Wow. So I don't know if you knew all of that about Publix supermarkets, but that's an amazing story. And the fact that today they own 400 of their 1,500 shopping centers that they're located in makes them the largest landlord for Publix out of all Publix. That moat that not only are they a superior retailer, but they are also a superior landlord. It makes that a awful tough moat to try to penetrate if you don't have that. They're so well capitalized. And I think that most people don't realize, 400 locations. I mean, we're probably talking, I don't know, $10 billion of real estate that they own. I don't know their balance sheet, but it's probably in that magnitude, right? Or maybe more, 10, billions of dollars. And 80% of it's owned by the employees. Think about that. And that's where shopping is a pleasure. And they're not trying to compete with everyday low prices. That's Walmart's thing. They are competing on service. That's the value that they're providing. And it's just a great lesson to be learned. Happy 95th anniversary to Publix. My name's Hugh Chen. I hope you enjoyed. This is a great story on retail. It's such an amazing industry to be in. If you go to ICSCs or any other networking events, you do see the Publix people hustling. They hire from within, they promote from within, and it's not unusual for the executive that you're talking to, the senior level, executive level, that they started as a bag person or a cashier or a stalker. I think that the CEO today is actually formerly a bag boy. So they are a testament to the power of service to customers and service to employees.